the man, yes, sir, they killed the bear barehanded so the people won't forget it. Getting money for I was legal to drink. I care what a broke nigga think.
Just like the pack of Lewiz.
Look, everything I do so cold. I can do this, both eyes closed. Too short, I stay on my toes. About that guap boy, anything goes. Help the bear if we outside. Help the bear if we outside. Still tipping, baby, nothing changed. I'm still grinding over here, yeah. Still sliding through my own lane. Shorty, nothing funny over here. Dallas rain everywhere around me. Dream to get money. Made it through the storm, living sunny. Dreams came true, now we eating. I got more dreams to chase, gotta reach them. Trying to put a team together like the Hunger Games. Everybody grinding cause we all came from hunger pain.
Yeah, Halo. Finale. Transcendence. It's a beautiful thing, y'all. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Put that thumbs up right now. All right, share it to your peoples right now. You know what? Hey, look, you know what to do. If you are in here getting your lurk on early in on the chat, shouts out to you and your sunshiny face. Nice to see you. Now, if you in here on the replay, much love to you. Glad you came through. Glad to see your sunshiny face there, because we about to get into not only John, not only Cortana, all right, not only McKee. We're gonna talk about everybody. All right, we're gonna talk about them all, and maybe even touch on the season a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? So before I get started, I will ask you to, in the chat, let me know who is your MVP of the season. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an interesting one for me to see sometimes, because it's not always who I expect. It's not always the lead cast member or the star or whatever, or maybe not even a regular. Let me know who your clutch MVP is of this season. I'll start off with mine. I've taken this under much review. I've thought about this. I've gone back and forth. I've looked at what John has done. I've looked at what Kai has done. I've looked at what McKee has done. Miranda. I've looked at Riz, Vanek, Halsey. I've looked at, Captain Keys. And I've been like, they've all done some cool stuff. Like, where should I put them? In the overall pantheon of like, who's doing it? Who's doing things? Who is the realist? You know what I'm saying? Who is the one that's doing things over here? Who is the one that's killing it, taking it to another level? Who's the one that shines? And honestly, I'm gonna have to give it to McKee. Strangely, like, when we first met McKee, I was like, you a sellout. You know what I'm saying? I was like, come on now, you selling out humanity. What's up? Why are you working with the Covenant, right? But after further review, seeing her childhood, seeing how she was, basically just kidnapped and taken, similar to John being kidnapped and taken, we now know that she was in a situation where humanity wasn't the greatest, and at a certain formative year in her life, that's kind of what stuck with her. And then, of course, who knows whatever, lies or whatever, like Covenant told her about humanity, that didn't help her, viewpoint on humans. But we see her turn. We see her turn. We see her change. We see her demeanor. We see how she grows, not only a lust or affection for your boy John. Come on, man. He out there, he got trapezius muscles. Come on, what lady wouldn't fall for this dude? He's a master chief, all right? He's not only a chief, but he's a master at being a chief, all right? So understandable that, you know what I'm saying, you look at this man, what a man, what a mighty good man. So, but we see her see humanity through his eyes and then actually change and turn and give up that part that was so tied to the covenant and that finger knife thing. She gave that up, you know what I'm saying? Just like he gave up the pellet, she gave up the finger knife. And when everyone was down and out, she was able to create that power wave twice to save the Spartans. All right? Won't nobody else there. Twice, son. Yo, McKee, salute you. All right? Much respect. So let's do the let's talk about the season. Let's talk about this you know what? Let's talk about this episode, because then we'll get into the season later. This episode I thought was a great way to end this season. I thought it was an awesome way to kind of tie everything together. Give us an opportunity to see a great fight scene. Give us an opportunity to see kind of like the inner workings of the covenant and how they really felt about McKee, and what they were going to do with McKee and all that. So to see that, also to have Halsey's story kind of come full circle-ish, seeing the Spartans wake up. There's a lot that came this episode, which was a great culmination for this show, and I was excited for it. I was excited. We didn't really see any tying up for Kwan Ha and for Soren, but that'll come in season 2. That's kind of like a side story, like a side story. So it'll be all right. I get, look, man, you hate Halsey, I hate Halsey, we all hate Halsey. And once we saw that Halsey wasn't speaking, at first I was like, oh, she's just trying to be, she mad she got caught. But it got to a point where I was starting to feel like, okay, this is weird for her, because she's a talker. Even when she's in trouble, she always has to let people know she's the smartest one in the room. She can't just be content in her life. She has to kind of prove to you that she the best. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's weird she ain't saying nothing. I can see when she first got there, but I was like, she still ain't saying nothing. I was like, this is strange. I was right. Homegirl, look, who knows how long she had that clone sitting around? Who knows, all right? Who knows how long she had that clone sitting around waiting? But she sure did drop a clone on him. And then look, Miranda first, she was like, I don't expect you to say anything. I'm just gonna you know what I'm saying? She had to get her, get her stuff off. You know what I'm saying? She had to get her, you know what I'm saying? Get her energy off, because, she was there when Captain Keyes was like, I was part of the team that kidnapped you, talking about the Spartans. And he was like, he gave up the ghost. You know what I'm saying? He let his feelings be known and confessed his crimes. You know what I'm saying? While Vanek and Riz was gunpoint with John and Kai, which made them a unit once again. And I guess we're focusing on them as if they're the last 4 Spartans. Because they said silver team, so I'm assuming at first when they were calling them silver team, I'm like, oh, okay, well then there's probably a gold team and a red team and a purple team and whatever. But no, maybe this is it. Maybe these are the last 4 Spartans that are in existence. And if that's the case, then, well, sorry, not the last 4, the last 4 of 5, because Soren is still alive. So, you essentially are looking at the remnants of Halsey's program and programming. But them saying, hey, look, she lied to us, John coming clean, Kai being there to back him up, and then, having Captain Keys, I gotta give it to him. Go on, Captain, I see it. Captain, I see it. Captain, I know you had to, you didn't want to say that in front of your daughter, all right? Your young daughters, all right? But it needed to be said. And which ties right back to how Miranda was feeling when she was like, she ain't speak to her daddy at all. And then she was like, I'm gonna give my mother a piece of my mind. And once she saw that convulsing and everything, she was like, this ain't my mama. Now, let's run down this real quick. Okay, so what you're saying is Halsey has not cut her hair or changed her facial appearance at all, like, eyebrows or glasses or mustache or, I don't know, contacts or anything. Hasn't done anything. Same hair, same face, same everything. And there hasn't been any kind of facial recognition in the UNSC that has picked her up on anything yet. They just got a spinny thing talking about wanted. I'm like, yo, Halsey, unless we're about to find out that Halsey throughout this time has put in some kind of, some kind of subroutine program that makes sure that it doesn't recognize her, similar to how the machine did in Person of Interest for the man in the suit, for Root and everyone else. So maybe that's it. But I'm like, yo, she ain't changed her hair, nothing. She right there. There she go. There she is. So, man, look. All I'm saying is, man, look. Halsey is either truly the smartest out there, or she is probably the luckiest Mickey Ficky in these streets, all right? Because I'm like, she got the same hair. She got the same face. She ain't try. I can see if she had put on a wig and was like Carmen Sandiego or something, but I'm like, yo, she right there. There she is. Kind of, I don't know, Middle Ages, kind of like soccer mom scientist looking, like she right there. Like, go get her. Like, where the cops at? Where the UNSC, cops or whatever. I don't know, round up the troops or something. I don't know, do something. So Miranda, she doesn't really have her closure, but I think Miranda has finally been awakened. And I think this will make her bond with the Spartans stronger. If they return to Reach, because for where they are now, you know what? I got another question. Concerning the Spartans, do you think that they'll return to Reach, or do you think that they will kind of strike out on their own to live life on their own terms? Or do you still think it's going to be a situation where we don't mess with the UNSC, but until this war is over, which technically it is now, because they have access, they have the both keys. They have the cartographer or whatever, the both keys or whatever they call it. They have it with them. So, is it a situation now where they can kind of put a lot of stuff to rest and not be tied down by the needs of the UNSC? Because without the kind of like the nuke weapon of those keys, that puts the Covenant at a supreme disadvantage. It kind of puts them back on the same footing, sort of, with UNSC, except the UNSC doesn't have any more Spartans. So if that's the case, if the UNSC doesn't have Spartans, then that kind of gives the Covenant a leg up, because even though they don't have the keys, they did see the map to go to wherever the Halo is. So I don't know, man. I don't know. do you see them coming back to, coming back to the at all to UNSC, or maybe not immediately, kind of spending some time figuring out what they want to do, or who they want to be, or if the UNSC is a fight that they need to be fighting. Because I mean, you are looking at a organization that kidnapped all four of you. Shoot, more, because remember the clone was talking to her saying 35, only 35 survived. So who knows how many kids they kidnapped? I don't know, 100, 200, shoot, maybe more. So who knows how many kids they kidnapped? So if only 35 survived, the UNSC kidnapped us, replaced us with these mutants that died, within days, making our parents go through extreme loss and grief, making them think it was some kind of weird plague going on around children, while they fed us nothing but, I guess you could say, like, I don't know, nationalist lies or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like propaganda of the UNSC, and also experimented on us and I don't know, essentially medically tortured us until we became these super duper soldiers, So I don't know where they land. I mean, I guess for TV's sake, they'll have them, and for the video game sake, they'll have them kind of like just come back to, just come back to everything, and everything will be okay. And now we work for the UNSC, but I don't know. I guess I'd like to see some reflection on it. With Miranda, I do want to see her. I want to see her grow, because in this season we've seen a lot of change from her. She's not particularly the whiny, approval-needing Miranda we met. So I'm even down with her being around, and her being a more compassionate version of Halsey. I'm down with. But I know that she's going to have to step her game up to defend against her mom, because her mom is definitely an enemy of the state now. And her mom is definitely not done tampering, tinkering, messing with anything UNSC. So I don't know, man. She's going to have to step her game up, man, for real. She's going to have to do something and talk about wanted. You want to do more than wanted. You want to hunt this woman down, because she got too many friends that's helping her. And once again, she has no kind of disguise at all. Like, y'all got to step y'all surveillance up, man. I feel like the surveillance in like London would have picked her up by now. Like, oh, she had the train station. No problem, go get her. So with that, I like that we tied up those stories. We got the I guess closure enough on the UNSC side to know where they are and where they're going to be going, or not maybe where they're going to be going, but at least where they start from in season 2. On the side of the Spartans, I like that we don't really know. I mean, we don't know how they're gonna feel, where they're gonna go, and that's a huge deal. McKee, she alive. I don't think she's dead. I think they revive her because they still need her to a certain degree, because they don't have John. So I don't know if she'll find out that, hey, y'all gonna kill me the second y'all get. Because I think she kind of had that energy for a second, especially now that she did the wave to blow everyone away when they were being attacked. The relationship will be strained at the very least. I'll say that. The relationship between her and the kind of the floating religious guys, I can't remember their name, but it'll be strained, especially since we already know they want to, he was like Shilburn too. So they ain't too keen on her. But speaking of the St. Haley, man, the effects this season have been on point, man. On point. So anyway, we'll get into the season in a second. Lastly, on this episode, I love that final fight. Not only up against, you had grunts, you had jackals, you had elites, but we got to see the Brood again. We got to see sort of like this against all odds fight that I truly enjoyed. And the effects were all there. That was really flipping from our view, just watching, to a more engaged first person, was done in a way where it didn't seem cheesy or gimmicky to me. I'll say that. So I love that, man. That fight scene was proper. I'm sure someone on YouTube will put all the fight scenes together. Because them fight scenes was choice. So outside of the fight scene that I really dug, getting around two with the Brute, which still didn't work out, John's way. I'd love to see a round 3 in season 2 early, but we'll see how that goes. Lastly, we got a relationship between John and Cortana. We'll see where that leads, because he has started trusting her again. He did realize that, yes, you can take over my body. And he let her take over his body so she could save the team, and also pick up the keys to get him in the ship. So I don't know. We know she'll let go of his body at some point, but when will she let go of the body is another thing, because she didn't even speak through him when Kai asked about him or asked for him. So I don't know, man. I trust Cortana. I don't think she has any ulterior motive at this time. So, but she did say she doesn't know if she can give the body back or not, because that was never really in her programming to do. So we'll see how that plays. I hope, well, not even I hope so. We know she will. We know the relationship, the basic relationship in Halo is one of those mainstays that I'm pretty sure they're going to keep in this show. Of course, it'll change from here to there, but I'm sure it'll be kind of like Chief and Cortana, as a team. And then also relating to Vanek and Riz and saving them and, doing what needs to be done to convey to them and having them sort of being like a full crew now. I enjoy it, yo. I enjoyed this episode. I've enjoyed this season. So I'll talk this season for a second. We've been here for 9 episodes. So I'm not going to hold y'all too long. But this season was fresh for me. For a long time, I thought we were never going to get a true Halo movie or show. Yes, we had Fall of Reach. It was okay. And when was Fall of Reach? Let's see. When was oh, hey, what up? Nice to see Jay Shearer up on here. Yeah. Tuesday, we're talking about something. I don't know. We're talking about something on Tuesday. And I'll follow up with you, because I'll let you know. Tuesday, yes, and I'll let you know, because hopefully the time will be right. But Fall of Reach wasn't bad, okay? And see, when was Fall of Reach? Fall of Reach was let's see. Fall of Reach was like 2016, 15, 14. Let's see. Film adaptation. February 5th, 2016, I think. That's what it's saying. So I'm assuming that's the... So you got Fall of Reach. You got... it says... Okay, it says 2015. That's what IMDb says. So you had that in 2015. You got what is it? The joint with Mike Coulter. What was it? What was that? Halo Nightfall, which came out in 2014, I guess. So it's been a good while since we've had some kind of live action-ish kind of Halo action. And of course, in Halo Nightfall, Mike Coulter is not, at least that I remember, I don't think he was a Spartan or anything. And then of course the effects weren't on this level of this show. So especially with the pandemic happening, and well, I mean, still happening. I mean, we acting like it's over. It ain't over. Like cases going back up. Even though they was down for a little bit, I got hyped. I was like, oh snap. And then it's back up. But that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other stream. The effects weren't really there. And with the pandemic happened, it was supposed to be a movie, then it wasn't a movie, then it was supposed to be a show. Then we didn't really hear anything. It was like, oh, it's going to be a show, we're going to make it. And then it kind of disappeared. Got CBS All Access. I think they did mention it like once or twice. But it was kind of like a back burner kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, Halo's the thing that we'll make. And when I saw the trailer, that's when I got hopeful. I was like, oh, hold up. It's not looking too bad. And then I think they leaked like a little bit of the fight scene in the first episode. And I was like, okay, we might have something. And when I saw the first episode, and even seeing the more quiet moments with McKee and the Sangheli, seeing just their skin, seeing them move and stuff like that, I'm like, yo, they really went in. Paramount did their thing on this. Normally I'd be like, yo, Paramount whack, they ain't coming with it. I used to be like CBS All Access / Paramount, whatever. They ain't got nothing. But now they've got Discovery, they've got Strange New Worlds, they've got Lower Decks, they got Prodigy, they got Evil, and they got Halo. I gotta give them their respect, man. And shouts out to Evil. Evil's coming back. Last season wasn't really like super popping, but we'll see where they go. But yo, I was impressed. I've been engaged. Now, of course, I haven't played every single Halo out there, whatever, and I don't know all the stories and all that jazz. But I'm excited about what I've gotten. I've been happy with the story, not only the storyline that we have or that we're on, like the journey that we're on, but also the acting. These actors make me believe that it's not like people are just mailing in their roles, you know what I'm saying? So I'm digging that. I'm digging the effects. I'm liking the story. I'm getting like the sound effects that I need from the game and stuff. So it's good enough. It's not only good enough on the standard stuff, like we got the effects, we got the sound effects, but then we got acting that are like, okay, these people are really buying into this world that they're in. So not only is it this good enough anymore, now we're getting on to like, oh, hold on. This is not only solid, but this might be trying to be great. Like this might be trying to reach for something where maybe season 3, we're saying, yo, this is some of the best military sci-fi we've seen in a long time. So I like that we've got a solid start. I'm excited about where we're going to go, and kudos to the team, man. Kudos to the team. I ain't going to front. When they casted Mad Sweeney for Master Chief, I was not feeling it. I thought it was whack, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am absolutely here for it. I'm excited, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. Now, we did get a interview from the Halo showrunner that I wanted to mention and like drop on. Let's see. He was referencing. Let's see. he was referencing kind of like a lot of the blowback. All right, so on March 20, no, not March 20, not March 21st. I feel like there's a newer one where the showrunner was, where was it? Okay, Screen Rant reported, and this is me trying to throw love behind Screen Rant or whatever. I just remember it popping up. It says Halo producer defends controversial Master Chief scene. And so that's not it. There was one where they were talking about, let's see. There's one where he talks about the kind of like the reaction. Okay. Here's the Halo producer talks dealing with fan backlash, which I know there's been a lot of. A lot of people have not been liking this for different reasons or differing reasons. I've tried to see where they were coming from, but as a show that has its own, whenever anything gets adapted, things are going to be changed. For whatever reason, for production reasons, timing reasons, budget reasons, maybe even vision reasons. Whatever it is, they might change something, and sometimes those changes are for the better, sometimes for the worse. You don't know, but it will be changed in some type of way. They start off basically saying, ever since it first premiered on March 24th, Halo has been sparking discourse among the gaming community, largely due to its decision of frequently remove the helmet of its super soldier lead, the Master Chief, in the Halo games. And we kind of discussed this on here, like basically being like, well, I mean, it's a show, it's not a game, it's a little different. In the game, you are him. In the show, you're watching him, so it's a little different. And it's a change that kind of, it sort of bothered me at first, but the longer we got into it and the more we saw how he had to emote through how he was taking and stuff, I was like, you know what, I'm not really mad about this. I'm not really mad at all. But he has a statement where he says, let's see, where he says we wanted our focus to be very much on telling more of John's story and more of these character stories. We were really driven by the desire to have a long form medium to really express these stories in a way that would provide a different kind of experience for the gamers. Because of course this is of course TV. It's not a video game, so you can't. Because when we play Halo, we are the Chief, and Cortana's talking to us essentially. And then Pablo comes through, Mad Sweeney, aka John, comes through and points out that Hollywood has plenty of swings and misses when it comes to video game adaptations, saying a lot of that is because there's such a deep, rich storytelling culture in video games. When you try to do the short, quick, sweet version of it, oftentimes you can miss the mark pretty easily. Continuing saying there was really no other option but doing a TV series. So putting those two things together, being like, hey, we're going deeper into who John is, not to who Master Chief is. Like, John is Master Chief, but you already know Master Chief. We want to see the man behind the mask. And I'm not against that. I've enjoyed what we've gotten from that. And I'll go in and throw this up. You can read the whole article. I'll throw this up on in the chat, and you can see the link right here. It was on winteriscoming.net, so you can see them. Basically, I think they were referencing another article that was written, but basically you can kind of see their mindset and where they're going. Where I can be like, okay, cool, the man behind the mask. I'm not against that at all. Like I don't see where there has to be such backlash when you start to understand the difference in the medium and also what they're aiming at. But I mean, of course, people, it's the internet. You can't just, leave it alone and be what you love, deal with what you love. You gotta let people know you hate it. So I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I think they nailed a lot, man. They got, if you were to put this on a scale, I'd say they got way more right than they got wrong in this show. And I like that we're doing a long form lens on this instead of putting this in a movie, because when you do a movie, you do have to kind of do a quick and dirty thing, or you have to give nothing but kind of like setup in the first film and not really getting the payoff that a lot of the gamers might want, because, hey, we want to see fights and going to different planets and all that stuff. And getting what we got out of this season, which is about 9-ish hours, 8 hours and some change of television, and cramming that into like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if Ridley Scott's doing it or Martin Scorsese. But I'm pleased with it, y'all. This is a show that I have been championing. I think I've been liking it by myself, but that's okay. It's okay. I can like it by myself. I can like this show by myself. I'm hyped. This show comes through. So with that said, my final thoughts on this show is that they took something that a lot of people thought couldn't be adapted or adapted well, and they adapted it well, not only with a cool storyline, but with actors that play the part, with costuming that is like, oh, okay, I see y'all. Like the costuming hits, that little kind of like Under Armour UNSC thing that John be having, bruh, that's kind of cold. I'm like, can I get mine? You know what I'm saying? A little huskier version of it, you know what I'm saying? Let's just don't worry about that. But still, giving my boy Bokeem some work. Yo, shout out to Baldheaded Brothers Unite. You know what I'm saying? I have truly enjoyed this show. They've given me characters to hate. They've changed my hate to love for some characters. They have taken me from dismissive to understanding of some characters. And you know what? Respect for that. Respect. Definitely a show that I would say is worth watching. If you can get over just, it being the video game. Because if you wanted to be the video game, just play the video game. But this is another medium, Like if that would be like if it became a comic book, being like, oh, they didn't do this in the game. It's like, well, it's a comic book, man. It's completely different. But we're not gonna argue with people. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. But here we liking this. All right. So with that said, I love all y'all. Y'all know, come on, man. Come on, man. You know the deal. I love all y'all. We happy you came. Of course. So holla at me. Holla at you. Down in the comments, let's talk Halo. Where you want to see it going, where it's been, all that jazz. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Down if you like, Halo. But Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. That's right. We got it for you right here. Up next at 7 p.m. PST, we are going to be talking about Young Justice with some cool folks. And then tomorrow we got Kendrick Lamar's album and maybe some gaming. Shouts out to Fightcade, man. Like, I think I got it working, maybe. Think I might have it working. We'll see. So, from me to you, thank you for coming through. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chilling. Yo, it is an awesome time. An awesome time to be a geek. An awesome time. There is no reason you should be upset. Like, just find something else. There's too much going on. We got Obi-Wan coming. We got Evil coming. We got what else? The Boys is coming back. We have tons of stuff to watch. We got Strange New Worlds on. If there's something you don't like, just go find something else. Trust me. You don't have to live in hate. You don't have to feel your anger. You know what I'm saying? Anger leads to the dark side, man. You don't want to do that. So, until next time. Peace. Yeah.
Finish him off! If you can't do it, then maybe you should let someone who can, like me,